In this video, I'm walking through how I create hyper-relevant topical maps for Shopify sites, and then how to research the websites that are ranking at the top of Google and create article outlines that match the same content length that those websites have so we could outrank them. First thing to do is go into ChatGPT and use this prompt. I want to rank better for whatever keyword. And in this case, I'm doing another coffee example, organic light roast coffee. Give me a list of 20 topics that are related yet different that I can use to build content for on my website that all match a different user intent. And you'd run that prompt. And I've tested this a number of times, and you'll get slightly different outputs depending on what ChatGPT wants to give you at the time. This is the best example that I've found here. And it outlines the 20 article topics and gives you the user intent as well. So for this first one, benefits of organic coffee versus non-organic coffee, is an informational article, how to brew, educational, and so on. So you have a list of 20 articles here. The next thing I do is filter through this list and see which of these articles would make sense for content on my site or client site. And in this case, what I'm wanting to do is look at and create a piece of content for benefits of organic coffee versus non-organic coffee. So the next prompt I would run is looking at and finding the websites that rank on page 1 for this key phrase and see how much content they have and then figure out what they're doing to rank. And there are a number of other tools I can use for this, like SEMrush or Surfer SEO. But in this case, I'm going to do this full example just using ChatGPT. Now, the other side note here, the value and the reason for building a topical map or additional content about your industry, about your niche, is because Google talks about wanting to create and wanting to rank websites that demonstrate they are an expert on a topic. Within the Google EAT or double EAT guidelines, they want to rank websites that demonstrate experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So the reason for building additional content about your topic is this helps show Google and prove to Google that you're an expert on a topic if you have more content about that topic. So to rank for something like benefits of organic coffee versus non-organic coffee, the prompt I would then run is, how long is the content on each website ranking in the top 5 of Google for the keyword benefits of organic coffee versus non-organic coffee? Now, if you do have keyword research tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs or any other tool you use for keyword research, you can run a search for the phrase benefits of organic coffee versus non-organic coffee or organic coffee versus non-organic coffee and get some additional ideas from a keyword perspective and look at and run this same prompt for those different key phrases. We have a much larger data set of the websites ranking for this keyword and slightly related keywords to get an idea as to exactly how long your content should be. But for this case, I'll just run this prompt here one time to get an idea for content lengths. And after this prompt runs, ChatGPT says to rank better for benefits of organic coffee versus non-organic coffee, understanding the content length of top ranking pages can be valuable. Here's a summary of the content lengths for the top 5 results in Google. And it tells us natural force, approximately 2,000 words, 1,800, 1,500, 1,700, 1,600. And then it says these articles are comprehensive and detailed, typically ranging from 1,500 to 2,000 words, indicating that in-depth, well-researched content tends to perform well in search rankings for this keyword. And the value here and the purpose of this exercise is working to create content that Google is already ranking on page 1. So we want to create content that's similar, yet better, optimize it better, include more keywords, include more relevancy. And this will not only help you rank for this key phrase alone, but helps you build up and rank for additional content on your site too. So next thing to do then would be figuring out how to create this content. So we have a list of keywords that we can use. And again, you can run this same process for every single one of these phrases and rerun this prompt over and over if you're not liking the results that ChatGPT is giving you to get additional ideas and additional topics. So the next prompt I run then is write an outline for the article benefits of organic coffee versus non-organic coffee, or whatever topic you're using. Include relevant H2 and H3 tags. The article outline should allow for a writer to completely explain the topic, yet do it concisely. Provide any other recommendations within the outline that can help this content rank well for the primary keyword and any closely related keywords. And after this prompt runs, here's a structured outline for the article. This outline ensures comprehensive coverage of the topic while maintaining conciseness. It also includes recommendations to help the content rank well for the primary keyword and closely related keywords. Now, as you're reviewing this outline, again, as I've said in other videos related to content and keyword research and outline creation, if you're an expert on the topic, you may have better ideas from a structural perspective of how this content should be structured. That's fine. The other side note, though, is if you have not watched my video on capturing featured snippets, that is another thing to think about as you're building this content out, especially if these search phrases that you are wanting to rank for have available featured snippets. Because as you're building this content, it would make sense for you to figure out which of these search phrases have featured snippets and work to optimize your page specifically for those as well. So you could potentially not only rank very well immediately for this content, but potentially rank immediately in the featured snippets too. So review this outline, make sure it makes sense based on your experience and your expertise in the market, and then organize the article accordingly based on featured snippets available if they are. If not, then just work to make sure the content makes sense from a user perspective. Now, last thing to think about then is as you're reviewing this outline, I did ask ChatGPT to provide additional recommendations here as well. Featured snippets would be one thing to think about. The other thing is thinking about additional keywords and internal and external links. Thinking about how this content would relate to existing content on your site from an internal linking perspective, and also how you can link to future content as well based on your content plan. And then next step would be to create this content. And I've showed in a number of other videos how you can do this in a number of different ways, whether it be with ChatGPT. If you are using ChatGPT to create content, I would strongly recommend doing it section by section. I would not just give a prompt to ChatGPT to say, write me an article on benefits of organic coffee versus non-organic coffee. I would absolutely recommend to do it section by section and then review and edit and remove any super obvious AI footprints within the content to make it so that not only it reads well, primarily because you want the content to read well. And at times AI content can sound extremely robotic. So add in your own brand voice as you're creating this content if you're using ChatGPT for it. Now, the other tools you can use for this would be something like Surfer SEO, like I've showed before, or of course you can manually create this content as well. If you're an expert or if you have somebody on staff who can help with content creation, that is absolutely a great way to do this. And you know now the expected content range for this piece of content should be somewhere in the 1,500 to 2,000 words based on the sites currently ranking for it. So that is how I create a hyper-relevant topical map for a Shopify site specifically, and how you can create that topical map, research the competition, and create article outlines that are set up and structured correctly so you could rank for the primary key phrase and additional key phrases. Hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, subscribe to my channel. I post content like this regularly and plan to continue to do so. And that's it. I'll see you on the next one.